what are your thoughts about Optimism OP? It does hit a few tags for me: low market cap, high volume, L2 scaling, fairly new project. Well, thank you for bringing it to my attention. I have been tracking this and Arbitrum and many others of the up-and-comers and how they map up to Matic, and they are quite impressive. So I agree. So let's run through some numbers, some data, some valuation projections, and see what we come out with. First of all, per Artemis research in terms of daily active users, Optimism has more daily active users than Cardano. You can see Optimism have 62,500 daily active users, Cardano 59,300. You see the big 800-pound gorilla Ethereum with nearly 400,000. Solana's down a little bit from a few days ago, 455,000. And Polygon, big bounce, up to 537. So from that perspective, it's coming up there. Next, let's look at Optimism's transactions per day. Very solid as well. Optimism, over 513,000 transactions. And again, that is a big chunk. That's half of what Ethereum does. And it's a very, very new chain. Now, if you guys want me to do a deeper dive, look at the founders and everything else, I can do that as well. But this is just a very quick cursory view how I look at things. Next is market cap per daily transactions. Again, if you look at the valuation, this is in terms of dollars. Ethereum is valued at $147,000 per daily transaction. Polygon, 2,100, reasonable price. Optimism, $347, not bad. It's basically a sixth of what Polygon is trading at, and cheaper than Optimism is Solana right now. I thought I would insert that, not pushing, just sharing numbers. Now let's look at some of the tokenomics real brief. Again, this is by no means a deep dive, quick and dirty, but here we can see the supply schedule. And this is from CoinGecko, and you can see we're going to see inflation for a very, very long time out into the future, out until 2026. And that's when 100% of the supply will be out there. And right now we are right at that little cusp of, let me see, very early, before we get to that big little chunk up, if you can see those numbers, but very, very early days in terms of supply schedule. Let's dig into that a little bit more. Let's look at where it was. It's a very new chain. In fact, if you go back to June, early June 2022, it didn't even exist. But here, what I did do is pull up a couple of things. This is using the Wayback Machine, looking at the amount of supply. Now, first of all, in July 2022, there was a little bit of a red flag, and that was volume of market cap extremely low, and they had self-reported circulating supply, which normally is a very big red flag. It said 214 million, so it probably was a lot less than that. It has no max supply, and the total supply is 4.294 billion tokens. So right now we are at 234 million. Again, total supply 4.2 billion. So it's a long way to go. And I don't like that. But we'll talk more about that later, because we're going to look at a fully diluted market cap for the token as well. But just inflation over the last 6 months is at least 10%. And as we saw per the tokenomics, it's going to be inflating for a long time into the future. Now, I know there's different uses for where the tokens go and everything else, but we're just looking at it from a high level. Now, this is credit to Tasha Labs. She has our new predicted token market cap model, which is very cool. I've compared that to some of my models, and it's really, really good. So congratulations, Tasha. But first of all, if you look at the valuation based on transactions per day and daily active users, you have a 25% upside today based on fully diluted market cap, not the market cap today, fully diluted market cap of about $5.4 billion. And the question is, what does that mean? Well, compared to the valuation today, you could get 25% more upside over time. I do think there could be a lot of problems with the intense selling pressure from a lot of inflation in the token. And from that perspective, I think it requires a deeper dive. If it is doing the type of transactions and daily active user activity at such an early stage within 6 months, it's very, very impressive. The question I have, though, with all these layer twos, they're all going after kind of the same thing. At what stage will Ethereum be able to operate without a layer two, maybe with sharding? I don't know. I know Vitalik said good words about this and many other layer 2s that are out there. So that really is the thing. When there's so many, how big can this thing get? And would a monolithic chain work better? That is the $1 billion question, not $1 million question. So with that, I'll let it go for now, but it does require a deeper dive. But I just want to share some of that cursory data. From the outside, it looks good, but again, the complete supply scares me.